Good evening. I would like to call to order the City of West Bend Licensing Board for February 16, 2026. Alderman Singzheim and the mayor, are you on?
I don't believe Mayor Ongert is able to attend this evening.
Okay, all right. We do have a quorum, so we have 3 items on the agenda. The first item would be the approval of minutes from the Licensing Board, February 2nd, 2026.
Motion to approve.
Second, any corrections or deletions? There are none. All those in favor? Item number 2, motion carried. Item number 2, new amusement devices license, Lake States Vending Bogies on Main.
Motion to approve.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 3, extension of premise at Art and Chalk Fest 2026.
Motion to approve.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Being no further business before the Board of Licensing Board, I adjourn. Good evening. I would like to call the Board of Public Works. We have 5 items on the agenda. Item number 1, the approval of minutes from January 19, 2026.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Alderman Schmidt and Alderwoman Sicer. Are there any questions or comments? There are none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Order for removal and replacement of sidewalks under contract 2601. Good evening, Max.
Good evening, thank you. This is the first of 3 sidewalk orders that I'm bringing to you tonight for approval. It's for 3 contracts, reconstruction contracts that we're going to have this year. So typically, like every year, in order to be able to share the cost of the sidewalk replacement with the property owners, we start with an order from the Board of Public Works to go ahead and replace those sidewalks that we deemed need a removal and repair or replacement, etc. So this first one is for contract 2601, which is the second phase of Kilbourne Avenue that we built phase 1 last year. So we have a copy of the proposed order attached to the memo, and we recommend approval of this sidewalk order.
Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Zingsheim, Alderman Sparks. Any questions for Max? There are none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 3, order for removal and replacement of sidewalks under contract 2602. Max?
Thank you again. So this one is for contract 2602, sidewalk order for the reconstruction of Heather Drive. And again, we recommend approval of the sidewalk order.
You have a motion? Alderman Sparks, Alderwoman Sizer. Any questions for Max? There are none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Order for removal and replacement of sidewalks under contract 2604.
Thank you again. So this sidewalk contract, like I indicated last December when I came for permission to advertise, is going to be a smaller contract due to the budget. So we are targeting the properties where we did have trip and falls, where we placed asphalt ramps on the sidewalk, etc. So we're targeting those properties, and we want to replace and repair the sidewalk there. So we have this order for the properties affected, and we recommend approval again.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Alderman Zingsheim, Alderman Schmidt. Any questions for Max? There are none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 5, Stormwater Maintenance Agreement, SWMP W25-04, Culvers. Max?
Thank you. This is a typical stormwater management practice agreement that the city enters into with the property owner every time that we issue a stormwater management permit. The purpose is to make sure that the stormwater management facilities will be built as planned and will be maintained over the years so that they continue functioning as intended. This one is for the proposed Culvers restaurant on South Main Street. And the development consists of a new restaurant with drive-through at 1505 South Main Street in West Bend. So we have the agreement attached to the memo, and we recommend the board and council approve the agreement as well.
Okay, do I have a motion? Motion to approve. Alderwoman Seitzer,
Second.
Alderman Schmidt. Any questions for Max on this one? There are no questions, Max? Oh, yes, go ahead.
When this came through Plan Commission, has the traffic study and all that been updated?
Yes, we received a traffic impact analysis for this project. There were some questions, I had some questions on the vehicle maneuvering through the sites and in Main Street. I had a discussion with the designers and the developers. They made some adjustment to the site plan. The revised site plan was submitted to the Department of Community Development, and it was approved as such. And so the traffic impact has been addressed, and wanted to make sure there was no negative impact backing up in Main Street, et cetera.
So this is the next phase, and they're in the process of moving forward then?
Yes.
All right, are there any other questions?
Just one question, John. Max, as a result of the changes that they went back and made to the based on the traffic analysis, did that have any impact on the stormwater maintenance?
No, no, because basically what they did is that they eliminated some parking stalls closer to the entrance to eliminate congestion in that area, that there was the bottleneck there. So they eliminated some impervious area and actually replaced with grass. So
Okay.
we did not have any negative impact on the stormwater management.
All right, thank you.
All right, are there any others? There are none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, Max. Being no further business before the Board of Public Works, I adjourn as chair.
I call to order a meeting of the Finance Committee, February 16th. We have 4 agenda items this evening. The first of the approval of minutes from our Finance Committee regular meeting on February 2nd.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Bergquist and Alderman Zingsheim. Any questions, comments, additions, deletions? There being none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Our next agenda item is resolution number 60, accepting 2025 A.L.E.R.T. Law Enforcement Grant. Welcome, Chief Daring.
Good evening, thank you. In 2025, Captain Grinwald applied for a A.L.E.R.T. law enforcement grant that's based on our participation in the county and municipal liability insurance programs. We were awarded that grant, and on January 28th of 2026, we're awarded $2,500, which was placed in our PD state grant account. Captain Grinwald smartly will be using that money to purchase 3 AEDs, automated defibrillators, and that will accelerate Captain Grinwald's plan to get us on a rotational replacement schedule, so that will no longer be a capital budget item. That'll be the ongoing operating budget expense that we can forecast and smartly replace as needed. So kudos to Captain Grinwald for applying to the grant. Tonight I'm asking you to move that $2,500 from PD state grant into our office and operating supplies to facilitate the purchase.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Alderman Berquist and Alderman Sparts. Any questions for Chief?
So where are these AEDs?
There's an AED in every squad. There's an AED in several places within the police department, our booking room, watch commander room, clerk's room, so, but most importantly, in each squad.
Good question, Bill. Any other questions? There being none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Our next agenda item is a city traffic prosecution services agreement. Jesse, I'll turn this one over to you.
Yes, thank you very much. The city of West Bend has had a longstanding working relationship with Houseman and Find LLP out of Grafton specifically for traffic prosecution services in accord with our municipal grant. The gentleman, the attorney who had been working with us, Jonathan Woodward, has recently accepted a position as court commissioner in Ozaukee County. Therefore, we will be having a new attorney brought on board here, Attorney Bitto. She will be working with the police department and the court in the traffic area. That being said, during the course of this transition, it came to everyone's attention that Houseman and Find had been working with the city under the terms of an expired contract. That said, they have brought forward a contract for consideration this evening to begin March 1st, 2026, 3-year term ending February 28th, 2029, with this would be a 3% increase a 3% increase to the current costs that we are experiencing, annual per month cost. Then there is a $150 per month increase over the 2 successor years from here. So it is a 3-year term, an initial 3% increase with $150 per month escalator over the each year over the course of the term of the contract. The contract does include a 60-day notice to terminate from both sides, so there is the protection there. That being said, longstanding relationship, good quality product from this attorney's office. I've also worked with this attorney's office in my prior community, so I can also vouch for the quality of work that they do. That being said, just brought forward a updated contract so that we are all working within a up-to-date service contract.
I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Butchlick and Alderman Zingsheim. Any questions for Jesse? Bill, go ahead.
How long have we been out of contract with them?
About 2 years.
Oh.
Yep.
How'd that get missed?
I
know that was before.
Yeah, and it's honestly, that's how well the relationship has been going. Frankly, didn't pay attention to the paperwork. Shame on everybody, frankly, but you know, that I guess does speak to the quality of work where it wasn't a thought. So here we are.
So under those past 2 years, they were working at the same rate?
Yes,
So they haven't had an increase in 2 years?
correct.
Okay.
Any other questions?
That works in our favor, in other words.
There being none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Our final agenda this evening is the West Bend Chamber of Commerce Make My Move Product and Services Agreement. I will turn this one over to Jesse to lead.
Sure, I will give a quick introductory statement here, but then I will turn it over to the experts in the field. What we have before the Finance Committee and potentially the Common Council this evening is actually a pretty exciting project. Looking at striking a public-private partnership to, one, apply for a State of Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation grant to fund and facilitate a relocation program for the city of West Bend. What this program would look to do would be to incentivize folks relocating to the city of West Bend to work here by taking the edge off of the move. It would not cover the entire move, but it would help take the edge off of those moving costs through this program. The program would be funded primarily through the WEDC grant that we've applied for. It was a joint application, the city and the Chamber of Commerce, in working with Make My Move, have submitted an application to the state. We should know by May the results of that grant application. Should the grant be successful, that's where this contract that's before the committee and council this evening would come into play. The contract that is before the committee and council is conditional in nature. It would only take root if we were successful in achieving the grant, because the grant from the state of Wisconsin is that primary seed money to fund this program to advertise folks to relocate here to the city of West Bend. It is approximately a $370,000 program cost, offset primarily through the state grant. There would be participation by the city and private contributions via the Chamber of Commerce as well. But again, primarily it would be offset through this WEDC grant. With that, I would like to turn it over to Tony from the Chamber of Commerce and Scott from Make My Move.
Good evening, everyone. Tony Gumino with the Chamber of Commerce. I just wanted to say thank you for having us this evening and taking this contract under consideration. We at the Chamber are just very excited about this opportunity to partner with the city on this great initiative, and it's all about getting people to move into the city of West Bend, whether it be apartments or purchasing homes. And we're just looking forward to hopefully taking that on if we receive this grant. At this time, I would like to introduce Scott McCauley with Make My Move. He is the gentleman that had reached out to us at the Chamber, and the chain of how this all happened was Scott reached out to me, I reached out to John, your Director of Community Development. We had a conversation, and it just really seemed like a great opportunity for our community. And without, shall I say, taxing the human resources of either of our organizations, the city or the Chamber, and at very minimal cost too. So we're very excited about that. So with that, Scott McCauley with Make My Move.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you for the time. Excuse me. My name is Scott McCauley with Make My Move. I'm really excited to have the opportunity to talk with you, share about our program, and the potential partnership with the city of West Bend. Our company was instrumental in working with the WEDC in helping write a bill that passed last summer. And then there were $5 million of grant money that was allocated to this talent attraction program. And so this $5 million is allowed to be divvied up across the state of Wisconsin. There are caps and there are rules to the grant. The most that any municipality, county, or region could go for was about $500,000. And the rules are that people that will move in through your program are not current Wisconsin residents. They will be new state residents that will move into West Bend, so they are new state taxpayers, and they are going to be local taxpayers as well. The reason that the WEDC and Make My Move came together is population concerns around the state of Wisconsin. It might feel like it's a long way away, but they're forecasting in 2050, 200,000 fewer residents in the state of Wisconsin than there are today. And that does not factor in people who will be retiring over the next 25 years. So there's a real concern about bringing quality people into the state of Wisconsin. Our company is based in Indianapolis, Indiana. So you better believe if we were going to talk to people in Madison, we better come armed with data and real stories if someone's going to talk with someone based out of Indiana. One of the reasons they did is we are proven. We have been doing this since 2017, and in the last 2 years, we have moved 2,500 new people into the state of Indiana through our programs. 2,500 people into the state of Indiana. That captured the attention of the state, raised some eyebrows. We have about 35 communities in Indiana taking part in this program. We also have programs in Arkansas. We have them in Kansas, Kentucky, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Texas. We have programs around. It's all about relocating people into those communities. Here's what's different about our talent attraction, and you can see this on your slides. Make My Move runs the talent attraction program for the city of West Bend, meaning we will promote your community on our website, makemymove.com. Daily, we receive 3,000 unique visitors to our website. It's about 1.5 million people annually. And when you visit our website, it is free for anyone who wants to move to use. There is no subscription price. There is no Once you sign in, we charge a couple of extra bucks to find anything. It's free for anyone to use. And when you sign up, you will provide for us information about yourself. Do you like rural life, water life, suburban life? Do you want to be in a college town? Do you have a trailing spouse? Do you have kids, etc.? Based on your answers, we will actually, in our algorithm, present to you communities that make the most sense for you. And the reason is 7 million Americans will move across state lines annually, year over year. Why not present them the opportunity of Wisconsin and West Bend? With over 1 million of them coming to make my move, we feel like we sit in the middle of that decision-making process. So we will promote the city of West Bend. We will promote the jobs that is offered in the area. We'll promote the lifestyle. We will work with them to talk about the cost of living, the schools, the churches. We'll work with locals on where places are to live. Let us run the play and the program. We will also go through a vetting process with anyone who applies. They have to pass a background check. They have to verify their income with us. They have to verify that not only have they applied for a job, that they have received that job offer. They'll have to send us job offer letters. And because they will verify income with us, because we will verify how many adults are in the house, how many kids are in the house, we have a program with IMPLAN, IMPLAN, an economic development calculator. It's a well-known economic national development program. We are going to be able to tell you, moving these new people in, what the economic impact is going to be of them now living here, spending money here, and being new residents in West Bend. We will also break down for you the state taxes and the local taxes. Moving people into the state of Wisconsin through this program, the WEDC can confidently tell themselves that $5 million grant will pay for itself within 18 months by bringing in these new state residents. And we will stand before you 6 months after, as Jesse mentioned, when this program goes live, we will hit the switch and start recruiting for you. And we will come back 3 months and 6 months later and share with you the data, share with you the results, show with you all the impact that this program has had for you. And the state will cover 80% of the program. So those slides, our calculator says that we would expect over $1 million of economic impact. And then you see the state and local taxes as well. And the best part about this grant and the biannual program, because it's 2 years, and we would run a 2-year program to move these households into West Bend, the grant from the state upon approval will pay for the entire first year of the program. It will cover everything. The ask that we are having, the 20%, the $34,000 for the community, already the chamber and already locals are coming together, but that is nothing that will be dipped in or you will be responsible for or even think about until 27 or 28, because the state is going to cover 80% of this program, and we will run it for you, and we will run it based on targets. We will run this program based on households so that you can see the impact of where your money went to.
Thank you very much. And to lean into that a little bit more, for that national promotion, the logistical handling of the program, the general oversight of the program with assistance from the chamber and the city, the economic impact to the city of West Bend and the area, tax impact, and the guaranteed update reports for this $370,000 program. The city's cost right now, depending on how the public-private partnerships for that final portion of the cost share after the grant is implemented, would be roughly $5,000 to $10,000. So we are looking at a huge upside here, potential upside with this program. I'm very excited about that, but I'm even more excited about the fact that the city is collaboratively working with a public-private partnership to achieve something on behalf of the greater good of the community as a whole. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions, but again, another important facet to this is a conditional contract where it would not take root but for the WEDC grant being successful. So,
And what Make My Move is doing between now and then is we will start building out your program. We'll take on the risk. We want to build out your program. We want to make sure the marketing is there. We will build the back-end database. We'll start to build out the questionnaire specific to you. Make My Move wants to take on the risk so that when you are awarded this money, whether it's late April or early May, we simply put you on the website. That's when the 24-month clock starts, and we go from there. We don't want to wait to hear that you've been awarded it. We will work from today until that grant's award to make sure that this program is ready to go upon day one.
Thank you very much for that introduction, Scott. Any questions from council?
What if we don't meet our marks?
Yes, I'm happy to. Great question. Here is how the grant is going to work out, and the WEDC has not put any end date on these grants, but Make My Move is. The way that we're going to work is the grant that you guys are receiving, I don't want to do air math. We are asking from the state $296,000. You will receive half of that amount when you are awarded the grant, when they announce it in late April or May. They'll cut the check, they'll deposit that money in. Make My Move then will start that clock and move 10 households. Once we get to the midway point of that program, the remaining half of the grant is going to come into place. So the state is making this a pay for performance. And the way that Make My Move's been able to work for all of our communities, we have this down pretty well. We were very strategic in the targets that we provided for West Bend, because this is a pilot that the state is going on. But Make My Move has put a lot of skin in this, and we want to make sure we hit these numbers so the WEDC says, this is valuable, let's keep going this grant. As far as we're concerned, this becomes the first step in a multi-pronged program of being able to move people here. And based on housing and based on timelines, we put targets out there that made sense for West Bend to know that we can then qualify for that back half of the grant. We were very considerate for the programs. It wasn't as if, let's move 100 people here in 12 months. That's not how this works. We want to make sure this is strategic, smart recruiting of new people here.
If I could just hop in very quickly too, because I wouldn't doubt a question is out there with regards to who else in the state is doing this.
I was just going to ask.
Jesse,
Fantastic.
who else in the state is doing this?
So funny you ask. I appreciate that. It is several counties, being Calumet County, Oconto County, and we'll call it Milwaukee County and they dub it as the Greater Milwaukee Region. That said, Eau Claire, Black River Falls, and Fond du Lac are the only other cities that are participating in this program. And so I believe it is Eau Claire that has just kicked off, that they are just brand new to it. The other two are kind of into the program a little bit already.
Yeah, everyone that we have partnered with, and actually of the people that we have partnered with in the state, all of those groups together do not even account for the full 5 million. Like, we wanted to be strategic about this. But if you do go to makemymove.com and search by the state of Wisconsin, you'll start to see some programs come up on our website. That's just us building them and getting them ready for that launch. And shortly here, we will have West Bend in that situation as well. But yes, as Jesse mentioned, Black Rivers is the municipality. Fond du Lac is going to be a county-wide program through their chamber and Envision, and then West Bend would be that municipality as well. Most of them did opt for the county route, which we looked into, and some regional play, but this one made the most sense, especially with the partnership.
Have you approached Washington County?
We did approach them. It was very brief. They have a different program in place that didn't line up with what the state of Wisconsin was looking for in terms of the grant requirements.
A question for you, Jesse, from an overarching budget standpoint, where does this fit? Recognizing that this is something new to what it is we're looking at.
Absolutely.
On the budget that we approved for this year, where does this fit in?
No, appreciate the question. This would be an unbudgeted expense. I have talked to finance. We would look to use the line item in the budget, our contingency account, for such opportunities that come up. That contingency account contains $75,000. This would be $5,000 to $10,000 of that. So
Thank you. Any other questions for either Scott or Tony or Jesse, who are most familiar with this program?
So bottom line cost to us is?
$5,000 to $10,000.
Okay. Thought I heard that right.
According to what I'm reading here,
Yeah,
that's not due from us until 27.
Correct. The grant funds would be used first.
Right.
And then we would get into the contributions.
So you can
Yep.
put it into the.
And then the,
Correct.
and the clock will, the contract, I believe, states, the contract, we have it in there that we can amend the start date. That clock will not begin until you are awarded the grant. So even between now and then, that would, if it happens on May 4th, then we will start that clock at that particular time.
And I know you covered this, but how often do you report back to us on status?
We really would leave that up to you. There will be account managers and people from our team that will be working with people regularly. Internally, we've talked about the fact of, with people making these type of decisions and the stakeholders like this, we would be happy to come back 3 months, 6 months, or even data that we'll be able to provide both the chamber and the city to say, here is how your program's performing based on how many profile views have you had, how many applications have you had, where are they in that pipeline, what's the average household income of the people who've applied, what percentage of them are buyers or renter. All of that data is stuff that we can put on a cadence that makes the most sense for the city and the chamber.
I'm assuming that Jesse would be the point man monitoring this on a regular basis?
Yes, from a day-to-day standpoint, right. I would be working very closely with Tony and in conjunction with Make My Move. It would be a joint effort, but on behalf of the city, yes, I would be the point person.
So those eligible to utilize the service, those are only residents of some other part of the United States, just not Wisconsin?
Yeah, they cannot be Wisconsin residents.
And not like Canadians, right? This is all within,
As long as, you're right, one of this things is a legal US resident or legally allowed to live and work in the United States is one of the parameters. The other parameter is if you do fill a job locally, the state wants that job to pay at least $50,000. Or if you move into an area, the state does have some thresholds on personal income. If someone was to come by with their own book of business, or I'm a marketing manager or anything like that. But there are parameters, and we'll have that built into the program. So when people do apply, we can just kind of move those to the side, not waste time on that, and be more efficient for you in the city.
I'm sorry, I don't know if I was listening closely enough. So, for example, we have a couple international corporations, just like Manitou, for example. This wouldn't apply to people coming from other places, but just more local?
Man, that's a good question. You're the first person that's asked one like that. But one of the things we do look for is actually, we'd probably go back to the state to see, but one of the parameters is a U.S. resident that can move in. But those are often programs where we can go to the state and leave it up to the city. We kind of call them halo movers. Someone that comes in and said, hey, here's a valuable person that moves in. And we leave it up to Jesse, the city and the chamber, and say, they're filling a job here locally. Are you comfortable moving this individual in through this program and things of that nature? Yeah. We have had, of our programs in Indiana, again, one of the parameters is out of state. We've moved them from 47 states, and to your point, 4 different countries. So the state was okay bringing people in, knowing the jobs that were taken in that particular spot. Really good question. You're the first person that's asked that in many months of talks across the state.
How do people find out about this program?
Yeah, Make My Move. The founder of our company was also the founder of a company based in Indiana called Angie's List. And when he sold Angie's List in 2017, we kind of understood online marketing. And candidly, 3 years ago, I would have told you it's our PR team pushing MakeMyMove.com out there, whether it's through socials, through SEO search and things like that. However, over the last couple of years, states across the country now are starting to realize we're going to have to go after people, and more stories are starting to pop up nationwide about communities offering incentives for people to move. 50% of our traffic, of our visitors, so over 700,000 people, actually find us from marketing we don't even do. It'll be an article about, hey, did you know someone is offering up incentives to move here? And they'll have a mention of makemymove.com is the place to go for that. A lot of it's just been how this market has gone, our PR and our work that we've been able to do. All told, we've moved over 4,000 people in the last 4 years, and we've been able to track each and every one of them. Of the people that come here, you will know who they are, you will know the day they move in, and you will know the economic impact they will have on the community.
I will lean into that a little bit and pretty confidently say Tony and area employers are well aware of this program as well, so they can advertise on our behalf as well. So yes, absolutely, we would leverage Make My Move's horsepower, so to speak, but Tony and I would work on a more of a grassroots approach from local employers as they look out into the world for their recruitment purposes. So it'll be a dual effort, but absolutely, we would look to advertise this far and wide.
And this will evolve. That price tag you have on there, and I know you asked earlier about the one contract as the price changed, that is the flat cost for this over these next 2 years, but this thing will evolve. As this thing starts to go on and you see, we'll be able to run data. Here are the top industries people have applied for. Here's the top jobs people have been able to apply for. We will be able to add to this, curate this thing, all for that price tag that we're gonna run over the next 2 years. This will be a strong evolving program for you all.
Any other questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, appreciate it.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the contract.
I'll make the motion to approve contract.
Thank you very much, Alderman Sparts and Alderwoman Sizer. Any other further questions at this point? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you again. There being no further business before the Finance Committee, I adjourn as chair.
Good evening. It is Monday, February 16th. It is approximately 7:04 p.m. This is a meeting of the Common Council of the City of West Bend. More than 24 hours in advance of this meeting, notice that the time, place, date, subject matter of the meeting was posted in accordance to the Wisconsin State Statute. Clerk, could you confirm that this meeting was properly posted?
Yes, it has been.
Thank you very much. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. We have presentations. I have a proclamation for the Adult School Crossing Guard.
Yeah.
I can see you, very visible.
Okay, whereas school crossing guards stand faithfully at their post along busy intersections in every kind of weather while dealing with distracted and speeding motorists to complete their charge of safely assisting school children across the street. And whereas school crossing guards provide children a familiar face every morning, keep an eye on their well-being, and alert the police department to dangerous drivers and driving conditions. And whereas school crossing guards help reinforce in the minds of the young people they assist the importance of traffic hazard identification and safe street crossing behavior. And whereas local declarations, police department honors, and especially smiles and kind words from children help to convey the gratitude of our community for the life-saving and injury-reducing role the school crossing guards play. Now therefore, I, Joe Ongart, Mayor of the City of West Bend, do hereby proclaim February 15th through the 21st, 2026, be designated as Adult School Crossing Guard Recognition Week for the wonderful assistance they provide for our school children. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very much appreciate the time that you let us have to celebrate a tremendously important member of our team at the police department. And want that to be very clear. They are definitely a vital part of our police department. We're data-driven, so I'll tell you that first off, there have been 0 injury incidents involving children at any of our staffed intersections over the last year. So that speaks to the value of our program. But that is really just part of the story. Really, this group's commitment and dedication to our mission, our police department mission to protect and serve our community is exemplified every single day. When it's raining, when it's cold, when it's hot, when it's snowing, when it's ugly out, they're there making sure that our kids are safe as they get to and from school. That's only part of the story. What I'm always moved by, and I've spoken to you about this in the past, is the relationships that our crossing guards develop with those kids going back and forth to school, and their parents, and sometimes generation of those kids. We hear about it all the time. I'm sure every one of them has a story about telling, probably multiple times, probably the same kid, to zip up his jacket. It's probably a him, so I feel comfortable identifying that. Or making sure, even a kind word about making sure you get your homework done, or be nice to mom and dad when you get home, right? You've all had those experiences. And more importantly than our crossing guards having those experiences, our kids have had those experiences. So they truly exemplify both sets of our mission. The protection, we take that very seriously. Lots of feedback from our crossing guards, certainly our eyes and ears out on the street every day, but also feedback to us how we can make the city safer. Max, Bill, you'll remember Ruth Ann was at our last traffic safety committee meeting and provided us some information on how we could make 7th and Decorah her intersection. Each one of them take ownership of their intersections, how they could make that intersection safer. So we appreciate that, and I appreciate everything you do, and I'm glad to be partners with you. All right, thank you very much. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a great, because we had such a great showing tonight, I almost forgot that there's a couple other crossing guards that aren't here. So I'd like to read off all of our crossing guards' names. When I say your name, step forward and be recognized. Mary Abel, Christine Bannenberg, Carrie Bone, Diane Brundle, Mary Corning, Janet Daly, Nick Dank, Lisa Flitter, Christine Groth, John Groth, Michael Reindl, Catherine Rush, Stephen Rush, Patrick Selenin, Ruth Ann Shaw, Robert Stalen, Sally Taylor, Laura Van Beek, Cliff Van Beek, Amy Jo Wachowski, and our Lieutenant Dan Van Beek, so 3 Van Beek, who is our crossing guard supervisor. So on behalf of the police department, our elected officials, and most importantly, our community, thank you very much for everything you do.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'll get yelled at by Lieutenant McAndrews if I don't get in the picture. Yes,
Okay, we do recognize a quorum tonight of the council. We have one item on the agenda for the approval of minutes from February 2nd, 2026.
Motion to approve.
Alderwoman Seitzer, Alderman Sternick, second. Any corrections or comments? There are none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, good evening, John.
Good evening, how are you all?
You have a downtown master plan quarterly report for us?
I
Fourth quarter?
do.
Thank
I do.
you.
Just real quick, we won't take a lot of time. We just try to every quarter highlight some of the things happening in downtown that are working on implementing the downtown master plan. This quarter would be from October to December of '25. We kind of highlighted a few different topics. Streets and parking, we highlighted the pedestrian improvements at the intersection of Main Street and Washington Street. So there's a lot of improvements there with turning radiuses, visibility, high-vis crosswalks, and a number of other safety enhancements to allow people to cross through that intersection on the north end of our downtown area. Also connecting spaces. So the Downtown Business Improvement District this year put some wreaths down by the library on the light poles down by Epic and the old courthouse and the library, trying to bring some of those holiday items south of Walnut Street. Traditionally, they've sort of been north of Walnut, so trying to bring those things to a little farther south. Coming up next year, they're going to have a couple different decorations for next year, which will extend the winter theme, but not necessarily the Christmas theme throughout the downtown, so that there's some enhancements for the winter fests and things like that. I'll leave that as a little bit of a mystery, so I won't give away the complete secret. And then also we highlighted new recruiting and retiring businesses. So we had a number of properties purchased downtown, some very large buildings. We had a number of businesses that are doing quite well. They relocated to larger spaces. And then we had a number of new businesses moving into some of those smaller spaces. So a lot of activity downtown in the last few months. Some of the occupancy of some office areas like at the BMO building are also filling up. So it's a good time for showing kind of that we have a lot of investment in our downtown. We also have some long-term businesses that retired downtown. So we appreciate all of their efforts, specifically the Hussar family for their efforts in downtown and the bid over the years. So that's sort of a quick highlight of activities in the last few months.
Okay, anyone have a question for John? Yeah, Alderman.
I've been hearing that our sound system has some issues. What's the latest with that? Can you give us a real quick synopsis?
Sure. The sound system was purchased and installed back a couple of years ago. The sound system was, it was determined that our old system was wired. The new system was supposed to be Wi-Fi. There is a receiver box in the Centrum building, and what happened was essentially those speakers that are on the far ends sort of created an echoing sound because the sound as it left the main area and finally got to those other speakers were delayed. They weren't instantaneously done. We are working with our IT and legal with regard to working with the vendor for that particular product. So the speakers were uninstalled, and that's sort of the status that we're at.
Anyone else? Evidently, there's no more questions. Thank you very much, John.
Thank you.
Moving on to the consent agenda, items 3 for 11. Do you have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Alderman Zingsine and Alderman Schmidt. Are there any questions or, there are none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to the reports. Library Board, is there anyone here for the library? Oh, yes, Brett.
Oh, wow. Thanks, John. Peace, brother. Okay, the last meeting of the Library Board was held on January 20th. If you've seen our agendas, you know how we roll. Call to order, Pledge of Allegiance, approval of the consent agenda, financial reports consisting of the spending for the month of December 2025 and our fund balances. There were no donations to report for this month, unfortunately. The library director's report focused on the end-of-year statistics. The numbers were adjusted to take into consideration the time that the library was closed or limited due to the flooding that we had down there. Of note, the number of patrons is right about 24 to 25,000 people. Okay, that's about half of our service population, with about 60%, don't you love statistics? 60% of that number, 25,000 people, are actually city users, okay? City users, that's good. And then 40% are others, okay? Other people, visitors that come to the city of West Bend who also partake in other activities throughout the city. So that's cool too. The board recognized our social media engagement as being one of the big parts of getting people into the library, along with the many other program opportunities that we provide. Steve has this saying, Steve, the library director, has this saying that our programming focus is always to connect readers to books, okay? Readers to books. The first task of that, though, is getting people into the library, all right? And then once we get them into the library, connect them with our books, There's a lot of competition for our patrons' attention, and given that reading is very important, okay, we want people reading our books, okay? Thanks, Steve, for that. The library board president reported that she had participated in a forum with the Leadership West Bend program hosted by the chamber. Whoop, whoop. And that they touched on the forum about community boards, community involvement, and just involvement in forums and commissions and stuff like that. And she said it was really informative. And I think she had some words to say too, didn't she, Tony? I think so, yeah. Let's see here. She also talked about asking for volunteers from the library board about the library strategic planning team. Much to her surprise, a couple of board members actually stepped forward and agreed to participate. No pulling teeth, just service, okay? We have a really great team here in West Bend. Thanks, Jay, and thanks, Tim. Agenda items for discussion included policy reviews, the first being the emergency closing policy that we had on the agenda for last month. The policy covers when conditions warrant closing the library during normal operating hours, like weather and emergencies and stuff like that. Discussion centered on the fact that the library is a shelter for those people in need, like cold weather and bad weather. So Steve stated that his intention is to keep the library open whenever possible, okay? That policy was approved. Number two is the library exhibit policy. This policy needed to be updated due to recent state recommendations. That was also approved. Next was the holiday pay policy. This policy needed updating due to changes in city pay practices such as PTO and such. The policy was reviewed by the city's HR director. Yes, it was. And then approved by the library board. Last but not least was clarification on library financial practices, specifically the use of undesignated fund balances. Prior to a meeting with city staff, the board was asked to approve prior spending decisions from last year to align with these practices that would be presented at that meeting. The action to approve those expenditures was approved, and we moved on. We were reminded that the next meeting of the library board would be on February 17th. Oh, wait a minute, that's tomorrow, isn't it? Wow, time flies when you're having fun. So having no further business, we adjourn. Thank you.
Thank you, Brett. For the bid board,
Yes, bid board committee meeting met on February 3rd, and we introduced a new appointee, Michael Fuzz Martin, joined from Epic Creative. There was also a president's report from Peggy Fisher, and announcement of the distribution of a new survey to bid members, just to encourage them to voice their concerns. And we had a presentation of the bid board financial report and a review of the budget. Some agenda items that we considered were allowing maybe a rotating time for board members to present at the bid board, and for property owners to even present at the bid board and introduce those who are on the board, but also people to who follow to the greater community, to those people who constitute the business improvement district. Aside from that, we reviewed some proposals for landscaping and the introduction of a adopt a program for hanging baskets as a way to contribute in the upkeep We got reports on from the Downtown Business Association and the Bend. I won't detail all those, but I know they have a lot of exciting stuff coming up. And a review of some of our activities, tree lighting ceremony. Other than that, we are going to reconsider some potential grants for the facade grant as well. And so that's all the report I have.
All right, thank you, Rhett. Plan Commission.
I'll take that one. We met on February 3rd, and we approved minutes and pledge allegiance and all that, like Brett always starts his meeting off. We do the same thing. And we started with a public hearing on, and action on a zoning amendment for the planned unit development overlay district over the existing RD2 two-family residential district for 1.57 acres, and that was on High Mount Street, Stratford Road, just north of High Mount Street. That's the Lang Urban Sustainable Homes. They've been having problems up there with the infrastructure and trying to make it work for them. So that's why we're on like the third approval, I think, for there. And that was public hearing, and then when we approved it, we took a site plan and approved a site plan for that same property. We had a certified survey map approval for that same property. We approved that. We approved an extraterritorial certified survey map on Woodland Drive that made 2 lots into 1. And we then went to the comprehensive plan. There was consideration to schedule a public hearing for 72 acres at South Main and West Rusco. That's down on right on the corner down here. And that's hopefully the next gen housing area that they're gonna, there's single family, and that's 2-family and multifamily, and that's all owner occupied. So that was done. That approved, I think that public hearing will be in March, if I'm not mistaken, or April. No, they said April, I think, because of we needed the 30 days. We had a public hearing or discussion and consideration to schedule a public hearing for a zoning map at the southeast corner of Main and Rusco, which is also related to the earlier topic. That also will be in April. Introduction, discussion, and consideration to schedule a public hearing at the earliest convenience for zoning map at the South Tree, and that's for the PUD overlay. So there's different components of that whole development. And then we had discussion with the county on a concept plan for the next gen housing at the Regalware site, the county property, and the county property off of Schmidt Road, and where the public agency center is. And they presented their plans that they've been holding public hearings for. They presented them to the Plan Commission, and we didn't make any action or take any action on the next steps on that. So waiting to see what happens with that. That was the meeting.
Okay, thank you, John. Administrators report. Jesse?
Thank you very much. A couple of items for this evening. Press release went out today that the Department of Public Works has officially announced a winter leaf pickup running from February 17th through the 22nd. We asked residents to please re-rake their leaves out, and we will be through to take advantage during this little bit of warm weather that we have right now to get as much picked up as we possibly can. So that announcement has been published and advertised, if you will. So again, Public Works looking to make a citywide sweep between February 17th and the 22nd. Please rake your leaves out as you are able. Then just quickly to report to the council, had the opportunity to speak with the Biz Times. This is a local commercial publication or a Milwaukee metropolitan area business publication to discuss the residential growth here in the city. So it's always nice when I have an opportunity to brag about West Bend a little bit and the good things that we're doing here. So that was a nice opportunity. So that should be in an upcoming issue of the Biz Times magazine. So those are 2 items for report. Thanks.
Thank you, Jesse. Any alderpersons? Brett?
Yeah, I just wanted to extend a brief thank you for Jesse, our city administrator, joined me and members of the neighborhood of 16th Avenue to sort of tour the area. And we had an opportunity to look at the lay of the land, basically, and discovered some things, I think, that surprised us in terms of the amount of inflow that comes in that area. People remember this is the area that was flooded about 6 months ago, and had some very severe property damage. But I just wanted to, again, extend a thank you and let those in the area know that we're still actively considering how to address the area and prevent future calamity. So, thanks.
Anyone on this side? Anyone on the left? No one? All right, moving into the closed session, item number 18. Entertain a motion to adjourn into the closed session pursuant to state statute section Section 19.85, para 1, para G, conferring with legal counsel for the governmental body who is rendering oral or written advice concerning strategy to be adopted by the body with respect to litigation in which it is or is likely to become involved.
So moved.
Alderman Sterling?
Second.
Second?
Second.
Alderman Schmidt? Okay, I'll take a roll call. Alderman Engelking?
I'm sorry, is it I or here? Aye.
Aye. Alderwoman Sicer? Aye. Alderman Berquist?
Aye.
Alderman Sterling?
Aye.
Alderman Schmidt?
Aye.
Alderman Sparks? Aye. Alderman Singheim?
Aye.
Alderman Butchlick? Aye. We'll move into a closed session, and we will reconvene into open session after closed session.
squirrel, we got into that, and you see the rhythm there, and it was basically this whole discussion of basically, and you can see probably part two, but it was architecture.
Very, very aware
That's
of
how
how
it is.
Jacob's brain
So,
works
you could also say English.
Start a band would be awesome,
Yeah.
is what John's saying.
You guys need to start a band.
ABB.
Hey, baby. That's online. It's already taken.
Yeah.
Dairy Queen.
When he was saying that, that's what I was thinking, I'm like, okay. I was like, this is very good.
That was very quick. Oh, all right. Well, I'll be in touch. Just one of the engineering, they're giving a big demand. There's your competition. They're getting a big demand for buying engineering. There's a lot of things that are going on. And I know that's you might. No, I was saying I might be in touch with them to see if we've got some civil engineering.
I've got just the soundtrack.
Oh, what's the soundtrack? Dancing Queen? Love it. Do you know of someone else? So there's
I'd call it hospital.
which is, and we did, you know, because the third path for doing this here are manufacturing, engineering, emergency response, so. Okay.
Or asbestos.
Okay, because I sent him a line email today, so
Like,
on the fourth and on today.
yeah.
No.
His name is actually Jim.
Oh,
His
okay,
last name
oh,
is
okay,
Sorry.
then I will, yes, because my one contact.
But everybody calls him the.
Yeah, he just retired.
Say, hey, John, hey, I was talking to John at City Hall, and
Okay.
you talked to Gus, and I talked to Gus.
So I was just gonna drive over there and say, hey.
What's the assistant?
Forrester.
It's Forrester. But,
Yeah.
Les is pretty stretched along the direction.
Okay. Just because I was. So
You can email her?
I called and left a message and then I emailed her. And so the next thing was like.
They're trying.
You call the main number.
I will. Yeah. They do have a new admin now too, so that.
Show up with a bike.
I think we need to hang out. I like your sense of humor. Yeah. So they're gonna. I got a hold of. So we do 2 tours per crew pack, and so one is from 9. But it'll be sometime in between Walter and lunch.
Oh, yeah, they have.
God. It's like whenever I go, it's like. But no, that sounds right. I'm just. But
Biomedical's gonna be like, Because we know, because 5 years ago, it was like, oh, we're so short, you know, engineers and technology and computer science. Tons of people went into, tons of people went into it, and all of a sudden and then they had enough, so they brought in people from outside the country, now they have so many people, and they like can't find jobs, and it's sort of like, it's almost like one of those things where if you get into some obscure thing, you might not find a job, but if you get into the most popular thing, you also might not find a job.
Somehow we still aren't getting enough engineers though.
The civil
I was in a meeting with, different engineering firm, I can't think of their name.
Who are the ones that are here?
It wasn't Big Mentor, it wasn't, who was that, I was there with engineer with people last week, and I said, oh, this is my question, engineer, how do you? Oh, no, you were in the room.
intern that I had last year, so he hasn't returned to us. So he will be coming back.
So I sent an email Thursday or Friday to HR about the airport manager. I was like, okay, so we've done this, this, and this. So I'm wondering, should we do this, this, and this? Which like, basically I was like, should we be reaching out to schools that actually have aviation programs? Should we actually do personal phone calls to managers at different airports? Like we put it out, Mike put it out, so we put it on these little servers. The next bounce back I got was, oh, we also put it on this internet job thing. I'm like, okay, great, but you didn't actually answer my question of, don't you think we should be doing a little bit different recruiting? Like, should I literally, like, or should we actually reach out? Should we reach out to other, like, should we reach out to places in Minnesota? Like sometimes on the municipal league, I don't know if you subscribe to the municipal league's job thing, but sometimes you'll see crossover stuff from Minnesota kind of in the Minneapolis area, and they'll advertise in Wisconsin. It's like, so should we? And it's like, well, this is national. I'm like, okay, but does everybody always? I don't know. It's such a niche. I was just like, I didn't feel like it's that. It's like looking for the needle in the haystack. So, oh, they're coming back. Yep. All right. You guys are coming.
Oh, it is much colder in here. It was warm back there. It's cold out here. It's chilly. Mm-hmm.
It never seems to work right. It's either too hot or too cold.
Yeah. I opened windows and everything today. I had the windows open. I mean, just a little bit just to get some fresh air in the house.
Kind of chilly out, but it's off in May.
I know, I brought my coat.
What's going to happen on the planning commission? We had some of the same issues.
Yeah, I thought it would be shorter than this.
We get one of those City West Bend shirts like this.
You get some of these goofy things like this frickin' woofer or whatever.
Just throw one of those on when you're.
It took 25 minutes longer than it should have. It just.
You can buy something.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
It's like a semi.
It is. No, well, that's just it.
All right, we're going to reconvene into open session. Jesse, you will take us through the closed session results?
Yes, what I'd be requesting of the council is authorization of the proposed settlement as we discussed in closed session.
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
Alderman Zingstein, Alderman Sternig, Alderman Zingstein. Any questions for Jesse? There are none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Being no further business before the common council, I adjourn as president council.